Hi guys, please like, share and subscribe for more videos relating to actual science subjects which really focus on concepts, derivation and intuition and other updates relating to the actual profession. And contact this number on WhatsApp if you want full lectures of any CM, CS or CB subjects. Thank you. Okay, hello and welcome guys. In this video I'll derive the formal definitions of TPX and TQX. Those are these. You will find these in your CM1 material. But they have not shown how to derive them, how to mathematically come with them, and where did they come up with them. And they've also not formally interpreted these definitions for you. Like, what is the intuition behind these definitions, or how you can understand them. But the problem is that you apply these definitions throughout the subject. And if you go on to apply them without deriving or understanding them, that is problematic. You'll never be able to develop a wholesome understanding. So what I'll do here is I'll first of all derive these definitions of TPX and TQX for you, and then I'll try to formally make you understand these. The algebra is a bit heavy. You might have to go over it once or twice. But eventually, once you understand, you will have a good understanding of these concepts. The intuition I'll try to provide very simply, so you will be able to understand that. Okay, so let's just go over this. If you remember, we had discussed the force of mortality, which is mu x. Now, what is mu x? Mu x is simply limit h tends to 0, hqx divided by h. You must remember this formula. I've given you the intuition for this formula as well. So this is our starting point. This is from where we'll try to derive the derivative of TPX and TQX. So let's just see how can we do that. So if you consider t plus h px, if you want to find this probability t plus h px, that is a person aged x lives for further t years plus h years, I can apply the principle of consistency and try to solve this. So what am I trying to say? I'm saying that this person is aged x. He survives first for t years and then survives further for h years. So till time t plus h. So 0 to t and then t plus h. Here his age will be x, here it will be x plus t, and here it will be x plus t plus h. This is age and this is time. So if this person has to survive for next t plus h years, first he can survive for the next t years and then next h years. So this is how you can solve this problem. So first surviving for t years has a probability of TPX, and then once his age is x plus t, surviving for h years has the probability of hpx plus t. Okay, so this is how it works. Right? So this is what I can write. Now, once I have this, I can actually simplify this using this definition of mu x. How do I do that? Let's just see. So this t plus hpx is equal to tpx. I can write this h times px plus t as 1 minus hqx plus t. Right? So this is what I can do. And now hqx plus t can actually be solved using this definition. So if I say hqx was equal to h times mu x, right? If I send it on this side, if I multiply with h on both sides, right? Considering that h is a very small number, so you have to take limit h tends to 0. So let me do both of these things. So if you take limit h tends to 0, you can write hqx as h times mu x. So if I do that here, I can say t plus h px taking a limit h tends to 0 is equal to, limit applies to both sides, tpx, or let me write limit here as well, limit h tends to 0, tpx 1 minus h times mu x plus t. Okay, so this is how it works. I just wrote HQX plus T, HQX plus T as H times mu X plus T using this definition by taking a limit H tends to 0. Now remember, H is a very small period of time. Now what I'll do here is I'll send this term to the left hand side. So what I'll take is that limit H tends to 0 T plus HPX minus TPX, I send this term on the left hand side, divided by H is equal to minus mu X plus T. Okay, this should be clear to you. What I've done is I've sent this term on the left hand side and this H in the denominator. This is something you need to know. Okay, now what is this? What you see on the left hand side, what is this basically? And obviously you have a TPX term along with this. So yeah, that's also there, because TPX is multiplied with mu X plus T as well. So now what is this? What you have on the left hand side? This is T plus HPX minus TPX upon H. If you remember your first principle of differentiation, this is the definition of derivative. And this is the definition of the derivative of TPX, d by dt of TPX. That's what it is, right? If I take a derivative of TPX, it would be T plus HPX minus TPX divided by H, limit H tends to 0. Basically, if let me give you the formal definition. So d by dx of fx can be written as f x plus h minus f of x divided by h, limit h tends to 0. This is the derivative of fx. So the derivative of TPX with respect to t, here we are differentiating with respect to x, so we are taking the difference over the change in x. Here we are taking the difference over the change in t, right? So this is the derivative of TPX. So I can say d by dt of TPX is equal to minus TPX mu x plus t. This is the derivative of TPX. Always remember, this is very important. So this I'll call star. And using this, you can actually find the derivative of TQX as well. So derivative of TQX will be equal to what? It would be equal to derivative of 1 minus TPX. Yeah. Which can be written as the negative derivative of TPX. So it would be the minus of the derivative of TPX, which will be equal to negative of this term. So it will be TPX mu x plus t. Okay. So your derivative of TQX is actually equal to TPX mu x plus t. This will be very important for us, because we will be using this in deriving the PDF of the exact future lifetime random variable. Okay. So these two things you should remember, and from here I can actually derive the definitions of TPX and TQX. So let me do that for you. So the definitions of TPX and TQX can be derived from here. How do I derive the definition of TPX? What I'll do is I'll solve star. Okay, so that will give me the definition of TPX. So solving star, and what I'll do is I'll put s in place of t. Okay, so instead of t I'll be using the letter s. You will realize why I'm doing that later. So let's just say if I want to calculate the derivative of, let me not write partial derivatives, these are total. So d by dt, okay, actually we are just differentiating with respect to one random variable. So d by ds of spx is equal to minus spx mu x plus s. This was what we derived in star, right? So this is what we have. Now what I'll do is I'll try to integrate this to find the definition of spx. So or basically TPX, that is the survival probability. So how will I do that? let me take this term to the left hand side in the denominator. So I can write 1 upon spx d by ds of spx is equal to negative mu x plus s, right? This is something that I can write. Perfect. Now, what is this whole term on the left hand side? It is 1 upon spx d by ds of spx. What is the derivative of d by dx of log x? If you remember, the derivative of log x is basically equal to 1 upon x, that is the derivative of log x. You will apply the chain rule. So 1 upon x d, let me just write it as log of fx. What is the derivative of log of fx? Okay, so derivative of log of fx can be written as 1 upon fx times f dash x, right? So first you take the derivative of the whole thing and then you multiply it with the derivative of this function fx, right? This is the chain rule. This is something very similar to what we have here. Okay, we have this term, the derivative of spx multiplied with 1 upon spx. See, 1 upon fx and the derivative of fx, 1 upon spx and the derivative of spx. So this can be written as from this, from, let's just call it 1. So you can say from 1, you can say this term is nothing but the derivative of d by ds of log of spx, right? Perfect. So you can use this definition to say this is the derivative of log of spx, and this is equal to minus mu x plus s. Perfect, right? Now, if I integrate on both sides, between limits, I will take limits of s going from 0 to t. So integrating both sides between s is equal to 0 to s is equal to t. These are the limits I'm integrating between. Okay, so let me do that. So integrating from 0 to t, derivative of spx log of derivative of log of spx ds is equal to the negative derivative from 0 to t mu x plus s ds, right? So I integrated on both sides by taking limits s goes from 0 to t. Once I do this, on the left hand side you have the derivative and the integral with respect to the same term. So this and this will cancel out and you just need to put in the values. So it would just become log of spx and putting the values 0 to t is equal to negative integral from 0 to t mu x plus s ds. Okay, so this is what you'll have, and your spx will be equal to, so what I'll do is I'll put in these limits now. So this will be log of tpx minus log of 0px is equal to negative integral from 0 to t mu x plus s ds. Okay, so this is what you have. Now, what is 0px? 0px is basically the probability that a person aged x survives for 0 years, survives for at least 0 years. Person aged x survives for at least 0 years. So what is this equal to? This will be equal to 1, because it's a sure event for someone to survive for at least 0 years. Like they're alive right now. They will be alive like at least right now, right? So at least 0 years, the probability is 1, right? Similarly, actually you can note that infinity px is equal to 0. 0 px, as I told you, is equal to 1. And you can also conclude from this that infinity qx That is the probability that a person will die in the next infinite years. This is a sure event. This will be equal to 1. And 0qx, the probability that someone will die in the next 0 years is 0. So these are some things you should know. Okay. Taking this into consideration, okay, these 4 things, this is important. Okay. Right. So now, since this is 1, log of 1 is equal to 0. So this whole thing becomes 0. So conclusively, what do you have? You have log of tpx is equal to negative integral from 0 to t mu x plus s ds. Okay, this is what you have. And this just means that tpx is equal to e to the power of, I'm taking both in the power of an exponential, e to the power of integral from 0 to t mu x plus s ds. This is the definition of tpx. This is the definition of tpx. Okay. So this is what you have for tpx, and now I'll derive tqx for you, and I'll then try to interpret both of them for you. So your definition for tpx is this. Okay, this is used very frequently. We'll talk about this in more detail, but for now let me just derive tqx for you. So we had this derivative for spx, that's why this helped us derive the definition of tpx. Now for tqx, what I'll do is I'll integrate this between, obviously first I'll change all the t's to s, so let me do that. And now I'll integrate between s is equal to 0 to s is equal to t. Okay, so let's just do that. So integrating between s goes from 0 to t. Okay, so this is what you get. Now I just need to solve the left hand side and I'll have my definition. So integral and derivative cancel out because you have a ds here. Okay, same thing you're integrating and differentiating with respect to. This will just become, if you put in the values, tqx minus 0qx, and this will be equal to integrating from 0 to t spx mu x plus s ds. Now talking about this 0qx, what will be the value of this 0qx? Well, this is the probability that a person aged x dies within the next 0 years. Dies immediately. Okay, he's alive right now, dies immediately. The probability will be 0, obviously, as I told you, 0qx is 0. So this becomes 0 and this goes away. Let me just erase it. So your tqx remains, and this is your definition for the tqx value. So this is your definition of tqx, and I already derived the definition for tpx. So once I've derived them, let me just interpret them for you. So this was tpx, and let me write tqx here. So tqx is equal to integrating from 0 to t spx mu x plus s ds. Okay, these were two important things that we derived, and we also derived the derivatives of tpx and tqx. These are also very important. Okay, so derivative of tpx is this, and derivative of tqx is this. Yeah, I've written in S terms, but yeah, these are very essential. Okay, now we have these two definitions, one for TPX and one for TQX. Let's just try to interpret them and see what they're trying to say. Okay, I will take 2 or 3 different approaches to interpret them. So first of all, let's just start with TPX. Now, this is your force of mortality, right? This is your force of mortality, which is very much similar to what we discuss in case of when we do continuous compounding and we apply force of interest. Okay, so now how you can interpret this is very similar to the formula of present value. If you remember the formula of present value, you have present value. Let's say there is a cash flow at time t. Let's call it CFT. Okay, and you want to calculate the present value of this cash flow at time 0. How will you do that? If you have a continuously compounded force of interest which operates as a function of time. So let's just say you have a force of interest which is denoted as delta t. So how will you discount this? This will be discounted as, you will take your cash flow CFT. If you want to calculate the PV, you will take the CFT, you will take it e to the power of negative integral from, you will discount this for t years, 0 to t delta, because I'm taking this time to be t, so let's just call it delta s ds. This is how you calculate your present value from of your cash flow which occurs at time t by discounting for t years. Okay, this is very similar to what we are doing here when we are calculating the probability of survival. Now, how is it similar and why is it similar? See, what you're trying to do here is that you have a cash flow at time t, okay, whose value would be something. Okay, let's just say it's a cash flow of £1 only. So this will also be removed. Okay, let's say you have a cash flow of £1 and you're trying to discount it to time 0. So this will be your PV. So now what are you inherently trying to do? You are trying to say that this cash flow of mine, which is of £1, it will have a value, a present value, which would be lesser than this. Okay, and why will it be lesser? Because it would be depreciated. It has to be depreciated and reduced by the amount of continuously compounded rate of interest, that is the force of interest. So I want to reduce this to time 0 by a rate which is applying continuously at every moment. Okay, so that's the idea why you use this to discount your cash flows, and obviously this is derived from the Euler's rule which we have seen in the CT1 part. Similarly, here you have the survival probability. Okay, now let's say you have a population of 1000 at time 0. Okay, where the persons are aged X. You have a whole population of 1000. You want to find what would be your population at time t. You want to find what would be your population at time t. How will you calculate it? It would just be 1000 times TPX, right? So what you are essentially doing is you're depreciating this population continuously by this force of interest. You're depreciating this population by the force of interest. So this is very, very analogous to what you do in this case. Here, in order to find the PV, you have to reduce the value. So you depreciate or you reduce the value using this factor of delta S. Okay, and here you want to depreciate the population, or you want to reduce the size of the population by using this factor of mu x plus s. Why do you use x plus s? Because that is the force of mortality. That is the force of mortality that will apply at age x plus s, and then s goes from 0 to t. So that is one way of understanding this. Okay, that you are trying to depreciate the population over t years using this force. Okay, the other way to understand this is by mathematically decomposing this formula. So I had Tpx, which was equal to e to the power of negative integral from 0 to t mu x plus s ds, right? Now let's just go over this, okay, and try to mathematically decompose what are we trying to do here. Now see, the point is that you have mu x plus s ds, right? What is this mu x plus s ds? So if you remember, we used to say that mu x is equal to what? Limit h tends to 0, hqx divided by h. This is what mu x is equal to. Now here ds is a very small period of time which is similar to h, right? So generally I can actually write hqx, as I've done before, as h times mu x. Similarly, when you have ds times mu x plus s, that can actually be written as ds q x plus s. That is, a person aged x plus s dies within the next ds years. So let me just replace this so that I know both of them are actually equivalent for small ds. So this is what ds q x plus s, right? This is ds q x plus s. This is what I have. Now, in order to understand this better, I will actually want to divide this into, small discrete intervals. So this is continuous. You have integration in the power. But suppose this was not. Suppose this was a summation. Suppose you had a summation here. So you had a summation of, uh, ds going from 0 to t, right? You have added over or s going from 0 to t, and you have added ds q x plus s. Okay, this is what you would have done instead. So what you are trying to do is you're trying to take this whole interval of 0 to t years, that is age x to x plus t, and you're trying to divide this into very small periods of time which are ds. And you are actually taking the negative of the probability of not dying in any of these intervals. Now, in order to understand this even better, I need a very small simplification, which is that you must know, I don't know if you remember this or not, if I've discussed this or not before, x plus 1 is approximately equal to e to the power of x. You can check this on your calculator when you have a very small x. For small values of x, e to the power of x can be written as x plus 1, or x plus 1 can be written as e to the power of x. Similarly, e to the power of minus x can be written as 1 minus x, right? This is what you can write it as. And this will actually help us intuitively decompose this. How? So now look what I do here. This is actually very interesting. So this can be written as e to the power of minus ds q x plus ds. Okay, let's just say you're dividing it over very small period of time. Okay, so let's say ds is going from 0 to t. Okay, so the first one will be x ds qx, then you have e to the power of minus ds q x plus 1. Let's just say these or x plus ds. So first you said you took it over ds is equal to 0, then you are taking how you're dividing it is, yeah, ds, then you are taking 2ds, then you are taking 3ds, you are taking 4ds, so on and so forth, right? So firstly I took ds, okay, then you got 1 ds added, so 2ds, further ds years, then you have e to the power of minus ds q x plus 2ds. Okay, and this is how it will keep on going, right? So this is how it keeps on going. So what you're saying is, essentially, if I now apply this rule, this becomes 1 minus dsqx times 1 minus dsq x plus ds. Then it becomes 1 minus dsq x plus 2 ds. so on and so forth. Now, what am I saying? This is very intuitive now. So firstly, what I'm saying is that this person is aged X. And this is the probability that he dies in the next very small period of time, that is ds, right? So I want this is the probability that he dies. Okay, when I'm taking 1 minus this, what does it mean? 1 minus this means the probability that he does not die, the probability that he does not die in a small period of time ds at age x. Then you're talking about the immediately next moment of time. So you're saying then that once he does not die here, he survives to be of the age x plus ds, then he does not die in next ds years. Further, he does not die in the next ds years. So what you're doing is intuitively between time x and x plus t, you're dividing this into very small discrete periods of time, and you're saying that this person does not die here. And because these are all multiplied, and you must know that and in a probabilistic sense means multiplication, and addition means or. Okay, addition is analogous to or, and multiplication is analogous to and. So what I'm saying is that this person does not die in the first period of time ds, and does not die in the next period of time ds, and does not die in the next period of time ds, and this way we cover the whole timeline. So he does not die at any point of time from 0 to t. He does not die at any point of time from 0 to t. So I do not want this person to die at any point of time from x plus 0 all the way up till x plus t. He does not die between any of these ages. So you can see this formula tpx being integral from 0 to t mu x plus s ds. So basically when we are taking negative of mu, we are saying that he does not die in the first moment, does not die in the second moment, does not die in the third moment, and all the way up till t years. So when he does not die at any of these moments, he actually ends up surviving for the t years. Okay, and since these are added in the power, since this is added in the power, okay, 0 to t integrated from 0 to t in the power, that is the analogous of addition, it's actually multiplied. So once you consider this is added in the power, which is the same as multiplying these. So if I'm multiplying, I'm saying and, so does not die in the first period, does not die in the second period, does not die in the third period, so on and so forth. And that is the reason this is the formula for tpx. So you do not want this person to die in any moment, and you can actually see this when you expand it this way. Okay, so you don't want this person don't want this person to die in any period, any of these periods, and that is why this is the formula for tpx. Now let me explain tqx shortly, because this was detailed, so you will understand that very fast. Now this is the other formula that we have, tqx. So again, mu x plus s ds can be written as ds q x plus s. This we have seen before. So, and by taking this as summation, so let's say s goes from 0 to t, and you're saying spx dsq x plus s. So now obviously this is integrated over a continuum, but I'm just assuming that it is discrete. So I am taking periods as 0, 1, 2, 3, all the way up till t. So I am just assuming that deaths can occur only at the end of the years, okay, and not throughout. But obviously this one is continuous, so it assumes that deaths can occur anywhere. But for understanding, we can use this. So now what are we trying to say? We are saying, if I expand this, this is 0 px dsq x plus 0, okay, plus 1 px dsq x plus 1 plus 2px dsq x plus 2 all the way up till tpx dsq x plus t. So this is now very intuitive. This says either this person survives for 0 years and then dies within a very small period of time ds. So either he dies here, or this person survives for 1 year and then dies within a very small period of time at age x plus 1. So survives for 1 year, then his age is x plus 1, then dies within a very small period of time. So either or he dies here, okay? Or this person survives for 2 years, okay, 2px, and then becomes x plus 2, and then dies within a very small period of time here, okay, so on and so forth up till t. And since we are assuming discrete, but this is actually continuous, so at any of these points we are actually adding all of these probabilities. We are adding, so this means or, this also means or. Remember, in that case we were multiplying, so that was and, but here it is or. So what are we trying to say? We are trying to say that either this person dies here, or here, or here, or here, or at any of these moments. So if this person dies at any of these moments from time 0 to t, that is from age x to x plus t, then he dies between ages x and x plus t, and that fulfills our criteria. So that is why this is the definition of TQX. So what we are trying to say is that this person first survives for s years and then dies within a very small period of time, ds, and s can go from any s can take any value from 0 to t, okay? So at between any of these times, if this person survives till age x plus s, so survives for s years, that then his age becomes x plus s, and then dies within a very small period of time, ds, then TQX is satisfied. And if this death happens at any point of time between 0 to t, then TQX is satisfied, okay? So that is why this is the formula for TQX. So this was the intuition behind the formula for TQX, and we add all of these. So that is why we have or in between. So he either dies in the first period or the second period or the third period, so on and so forth. So dies at any point of time till time t, okay? And that is why this is the probability. In case of survival probability, we were talking about survives first moment, survives second moment, third moment, so on and so forth, survives throughout, dies at any point of time or conditions, okay, alternative conditions, dies at any point of time, then he dies, okay? So that's the whole argument, and that's the whole idea. So I hope you now intuitively understand these definitions, and also understand where did they come from, okay? So that's my discussion. Thank you.